Well, ladies and gentlemen, g'day, welcome back to the channel. My name's Economics Mate, and this is Wotb Blitz. And as always, this is round 12 of the auctions on APAC, and hopefully every other server for hours to come. We have the Object 752, the 112 Glacial, the Kanonenjagdpanzer, and of course the Skoda T 45. So obviously, the Object 752 is going to sell out pretty quickly, as you can see. It's for 10,000 gold, and it is one of the best Tier 9 heavy tanks, if not the best Tier 9 heavy tank. I personally love it. I think it's fantastic, and many people do as well. It's understandably so, as you can see from the amount of people that are purchasing this thing. So yeah, it kind of makes sense that this is going to be a popular tank. Now, I'm surprised people are buying this stupid thing, the 112 Glacial, because it's not exactly the best Tier 8 heavy tank, if I'm honest with you. It's kind of just average, to be honest. It's just average. The Kanonenjagdpanzer, interesting choice. It's essentially a Tier 8 E25, just bigger. And it's got a 105mm, so it's really nice. The T45 is surprisingly a good tank. It's like it's the Czechoslovakian, what do you call it? The Czechoslovakian Panther is what it is, the T45. It's quite nice, actually, this tank. Yeah, I'm surprised people don't really like it. Sorry, it's the Czechoslovakian Tiger 1, basically, is what it is. Yeah, surprisingly, people don't really like this thing. Now, you notice the gun looks very similar to an 88mm gun or a 105mm gun. So, very interesting tank in general. I'll get to this one in a bit, but obviously let's talk about the Object 752, because this is the one that's selling out pretty quickly. It's a Tier 9 Soviet heavy tank. I've spoken about this tank before. I've made a video on this tank. I've basically said, if it comes out for a cheap price, buy it. 290mm on the front of the turret, 190 on the front of the hull. It's very strong. It's quite well angled. The lower plate is a bit troll. It's got 2500 DPM. You can probably boost that up to just over 2600 DPM, 16.37 second reload on your full magazine. It's only 2 shells in your magazine, and it's 4-second inch grip reload, 245 mils of AP pen, 340 on your heat, but I'm assuming it's taken into consideration the fact that I'm running this with calibrated shells, so definitely run this with calibrated shells. 430 alpha is what you have on a 122mm gun. 530 is on your HE, 4.6 second aim time, which is not bad actually. It's not the best, but it's not bad. 0.298 dispersion though is very good indeed. And 8 degrees of under pressure makes this very versatile indeed. Now it does go 36 kilometers per hour, 38 kilometers per hour as a top speed, with 30 as your average, so it's not bad. It's not bad at all in terms of mobility, but everything else about this tank is fantastic. Is it worth 10,000 gold? Not really. I would definitely recommend you wait for this tank to get cheaper. I doubt it's going to last very long on either the NA APAC, as we can see, or the EU server. I think it's going to sell out pretty quickly. Regardless, is it worth $10,000? To some extent, but I think it'll be much more worth it if it was for less than 10,000 gold, in my opinion. They've sold it enough now. I reckon it would be worth, just under 10,000 gold, in my opinion. 112 Glacial, 7,500 gold. This is an interesting tank. This came out with the WZ Blaze, which were both Chinese tanks, in an event, I believe it was a Lunar New Year event, years ago. This one, it first came out, was quite strong. 240 mils on the front of the turret, 120 on the hull, which is quite strong. It's very well angled. It's not a pike nose or anything. It was very troll. Very good heavy tank at the time. Now it's just sort of meh. It's just meh. 1788 damage, 13.42 second reload on your 122mm gun, 215 mils of APCR pen. Heat is 270, so it's not bad actually. 61 on your HE. You're doing 400 alpha per shot, but the aim time is 7.1 seconds, which is absolutely abysmal. And on top of that, 0.412 dispersion. So the accuracy on this thing is absolutely horrendous, and it's only got 6 degrees of under pressure. It goes 32 kilometers per hour as a top speed. 25 is your average. Traverse is not bad. Other than that, this tank is really not as good as it seems. For 7,500 gold, I wouldn't even bother spending that much. I would wait for it to be the lowest price possible before even considering purchasing this tank. The Kanonenjagdpanzer is a very interesting tank indeed. This is one of those tanks where it doesn't come up for sale very often, but when it does, it's cool. This is a very cool looking, funky tank. It is very, very nice. It doesn't have a lot of armor. It's only got 75 mils on the front of the hull. This superstructure here, it's not very well angled, so you're not going to bounce a lot of shots. But your concealment is very good. 62% when stationary, 46 when moving, and 13 when firing. Your damage per minute is 2400. You can probably bump that up to just under 2600 DPM with provisions. Doesn't need calibrated shells. I mean, doesn't need it, but you're more than welcome to use it. It's running high heat rounds and HE, but 255 mils on your APCR as standard and 300 on your heat is pretty nice. 8.63 second reload. It's a 350 alpha gun, so 105 millimeter and 400 on your HE. 3.3 second is your aim time, which is quite nice, and 0.307 dispersion is very nice indeed. It has 8 degrees of gun depression, which is very, very nice, and it goes 55 kilometers per hour as top speed. Very, very nice indeed, and good terrain resistance stats as well. Is this worth 7,500 gold? I mean, yeah, but again, with these tanks, just wait for these tanks to get cheaper. Seriously, I don't understand why you guys just jump at the opportunity to purchase these things at full price. Just wait for it to be cheap, and then when it's cheap, Bob's your uncle. That's all you need. So yeah, it's a good tank. It's worth getting, but not at 7,500 gold. I think just wait for the first price drop and then get it. That's when it'll be worth it. Skoda T45. This is the Czechoslovakian Tiger 1. This is what the Tiger 1 should have been. It's got better armor than the Tiger 1, actually. It's got 166 mils on the front of the turret. It's 127 mils on the front of the hull, but it's angled pretty damn well. 96 on the sides, which means you can actually side scrape in this thing. It's got 2200 DPM, so it's got slightly less DPM than the Tiger 1, but I mean, come on. Tell me this doesn't look like, a version of a Tiger 2 at T7, literally. 5.66 second reload. It's a 210 alpha gun, so I think it's an 85mm gun, if I'm not mistaken, but it's got like a 105mm muzzle brake. No, sorry, it's got like an 88mm muzzle brake, so it kind of looks like a Pack 88, if I'm honest with you. 175 mils of AP pen. It does have heat, so it's 243. You can run this with calibrated shells and probably bump that up pretty good. 6.5 second aim time, though, is absolutely abysmal for something that has sort of... The Tiger 1 is way more accurate than this. And it's got 0.364 dispersion, so not that bad. And only 7 degrees of gun depression. It goes 37 kilometers per hour, and 20 is your average speed. So it's quite nice. It's quite nice. It's got better armor than the Tiger 1, but the Tiger 1, it just feels like a better tank. This is a better heavy tank. The Tiger 1 is a better heavier, in my opinion. So, which of these would I recommend buying first? Definitely the Object 752, followed by the Kanonenjagdpanzer, then the Skoda T45, and then maybe the 112 Glacial. So, yeah, that would be my opinions. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to let me know in the comments down below which of these tanks you're going to be purchasing. Otherwise, look after yourselves, look after your friends and family. Peace in the Middle East as always, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.